This week in Men Making Men Look Bad, RFK Jr. Here's a picture from his website where he says, left isn't better, right isn't better, better is better. Independent of the broken two-party system and the corporate corruption of our government, RFK Jr. will pursue new policies in the best interest of the American people. And the policies on his page included the humanitarian crisis at our southern border, end the forever wars, the best environmental president in American history, and all those just went away when he suspended his campaign and supported Trump. And making him look even worse, I think, was his the speech he gave on the way out, where he tried to offer rationalizations for what he was accomplishing by doing this and by hooking his wagon up to somebody who is so anti-science and so it doesn't show any compassion for people and only cares about himself and is knee-deep in crimes. And so to watch some of his speech, I think we'll see some telltale signs about his ego.
American voters and those of President Trump. If President Trump is elected and honors his word, the vast burden of chronic disease that now demoralizes and bankrupts the country will disappear. This is a spiritual journey for me. I reached my decision through deep prayer, through hard-nosed logic, and I asked myself, what choices must I make to maximize my chances to save America's children and restore national health? I felt that if I refused this opportunity, I would not be able to look myself in the mirror, knowing that I could have saved lives of countless children and reversed this country's chronic disease epidemic. I'm 70 years old. I may have a decade to be effective. I can't imagine that President Harris would allow me or anyone to solve these dire problems. After 8 years of President Harris, any opportunity for me to fix the problem will be out of my reach forever. President Trump has told me that he wants this to be his legacy. I'm choosing to believe that this time he will follow through.
He will follow through. Yeah. Yeah. And at the beginning, if he honors his word,
right, which
he's known to do.
Yeah. I mean, come on. How many times does Trump need to show you who he is before you just believe him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it was so telling that he says, well, if Trump's elected, chronic disease will end.
Right.
And he also makes it clear, he says elsewhere in his speech, he's like, well, the Kamala Harris campaign wouldn't, they wouldn't return my calls. They wouldn't give me a meeting with Kamala. Yeah. And so therefore I'm going with Trump.
Which just shows how craven he is.
Craven.
That he was just like he's like the highest bidder, basically. You know?
Yeah, and he's saying, he's like, well, therefore I will have saved all of these children if Trump is in office. Like the logic is strained even for like someone with a huge ego.